On April 29th, 1999, WWE aired a one-off TV special on UPN to counter-program WCW Thunder. The network liked it so much that later that same year, it was made a permanent fixture of the company's schedule. With a name borrowed from The Rock and a color scheme borrowed from Eiffel 65, SmackDown would become the Federation's second weekly show and their second most important behind Raw. Whilst at times it was treated like an afterthought, it has seen some historical moments in its time. But what are the 10 biggest and perhaps best episodes? Funny you should ask. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic Wrestling, and these are the 10 most important episodes of SmackDown in history. Join us. Number 10, August 26th, 1999. 4 months after that one-off special, the first regular episode of SmackDown premiered on August 26th, 1999 with a tantalizing match as its main event. World Champion Triple H was defending his gold against his great rival The Rock, but that wasn't all. Shawn Michaels, who was retired at this point, would serve as the match's special guest referee, and just look at those shorts! It looked as if the Brahma Bull was about to unseat the game when HBK and his budgie smugglers stopped him with a sweet chin music, the closest fans would ever really get to seeing these two icons go one-on-one. Trips retained, and SmackDown had just presented its first major angle. Elsewhere on the card, there was a triple threat for the tag team titles. Al Snow defeated Big Boss Man for the hardcore title, and a young lad from Winnipeg had his first ever televised WWF match. There was also an evening gown match between Tori and Ivory, but I don't really think we need to spend any time on that. Moving on! Number 9, November 11th, 1999. Some of WWE's biggest successes have come from incorporating celebrities into their shows, so it was only a matter of time before SmackDown got its first brush with stardom. On the November 11th, 1999 episode, the show was graced by the presence of actor, bodybuilder, and all-round great guy Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was there to promote a new movie. Which cinematic classic was it, I hear you ask? True Lies? Last Action Hero? Batman and Robin? Nope, it was End of Days, one of his worst ever films. Why he was shilling didn't matter though. The fact was that the Blue brand had secured an A-list name to give it some much-needed pop culture credibility. Arnie even got physical, smacking Triple H around like he was standing in front of the last Turbo Man toy. The Governor snagged a WWE Hall of Fame induction in 2015 for his work, make of that what you will, and SmackDown felt like a big deal just 13 episodes in. This was also the show where Big Boss Man stole Big Show's dad's coffin, which I wouldn't classify as important, but it is bloody hilarious. Number 8, August 9th, 2001. Personally, I love it, but some thought the original SmackDown set wasn't that much to look at. The big rings were cool and all, but if you weren't looking directly at it, you'd probably forgot it existed. However, all of this changed on the August 9th, 2001 edition, when the show got a much-needed makeover from a very unlikely architect. Chris Jericho and Rhino were deep into a bitter rivalry that would lead to a match at SummerSlam, but not before the Man-Beast got one over on Y2J. After the latter won a quick match against Hugh Morris, the former ECW champion appeared and started beating him down, eventually leading to an awesome spot where he gored the wannabe rock star through the stage at the top of the ramp. Not only was this great to look at and try and recreate with action figures at home, but it paved the way for a new addition to SmackDown's aesthetic, the Giant Fist, which debuted shortly after. As if heralding the arrival of such an iconic piece of wrestling decorating, this episode also featured 2 tag team championship changes. DDP and Kanyon won the Fed belts, whilst the Brothers of Destruction picked up the WCW straps. Number 7, August 8th, 2002. There has never been a bigger or more successful push of a new star in WWE than Brock Lesnar's first run in 2002. He beats one of the biggest stars of all time within 5 months of debuting. The date was August 8th. Lesnar was on one side of the ring, whilst his opponent was none other than the human hot dog himself, Hulk Hogan. Firstly, it's utter surreal that these two were employed at the same time, let alone had a match together. Secondly, Lesnar didn't just beat Hogan, he obliterated him. The next big thing took the Immortal One to the cleaners, knocking him around so badly that it's a miracle his moustache didn't come clean off. After 10 minutes of domination, Brock locked in a bear hug to win via technical submission, a dominating end to an impressive performance. Number 6, November 7th, 2017. Despite the first W in WWE standing for World, the company's top prize had never changed hands outside of North America until SmackDown took a trip to merry old England in 2017. The November 7th edition of the show from that year had some very interesting matches on it, including Becky Lynch taking on James Ellsworth in a rare intergender clash. The bout everyone was interested in, though, was the main event, a WWE Championship clash between AJ Styles and the greatest champion of all time, Jinder Mahal. The experiment to see if Jinder Mahal would work as a world champion had gone on for way too long and had inflicted a lot of pain on the wrestling fandom. Everybody was begging for Styles to end the 170 days of misery, and sure enough, that is precisely what he did. When AJ beat Jinder for the gold, fans of all generations, backgrounds, colours and creeds came together to celebrate. Jinder, I love you mate, but the nightmare was finally over. Phenomenal. Number 5, August 21st, 2018. At SummerSlam 2018, Charlotte Flair won the SmackDown Women's Championship fair and square, only for jealous old Becky Lynch to attack her after the bell and spoil her big moment. Instead of backing the Queen, fans took the side of the Lass Kicker, rejecting her supposed heel turn and WWE's idea that she was now the baddie. To try and get things back on track, the company put Lynch out on the August 21st episode of SmackDown to cut a heel promo, but that just made everything worse. As Lynch laid out her case, the fans cheered her even more, recognizing that the redhead had gone unappreciated for far too long. This inadvertently set Bex on a course to superstardom, to becoming the man, to main eventing WrestleMania, and to changing the state of women's wrestling in WWE forever. In terms of actual wrestling, the biggest story of the night came in the main event, where the New Day defeated the Bludgeon Brothers to win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in a no DQ match, ending what would be the final WWE title reign of Luke Harper, aka Mr. Brody Lee. Number 4, July 7th, 2005. WWE does stupid things sometimes. In other breaking news, the sky is blue and the sun is hot. One of the most boneheaded and badly timed decisions the company has ever made went down on the SmackDown that was broadcast on July 7th, 2005, and featured one of the most controversial characters in wrestling history, Muhammad Hassan. The aggrieved Arab American, who was portrayed by a man of Italian descent just to make things extra awkward, was in the middle of a feud with The Undertaker. This was the night he set a bunch of masked men on the dead man, only these were no ordinary wrestling goons. Hassan summoned the men in balaclavas by praying, the most overtly terroristic reference from this character to that point. This just so happened to air on the day of the London 7/7 bombings, which understandably got the big dub in a lot of hot water. Hassan was written off TV in dramatic fashion when Taker powerbombed him to his doom at the Great American Bash. Plans to have him win the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam were canned, and the character was never seen or heard from again. Number 3, March 20th, 2018. On February 8th, 2016, a tearful Daniel Bryan announced that due to various medical issues, he would be retiring from professional wrestling. However, because Bryan is from a different planet, this retirement only lasted 2 years. After serving as the Blue Show's general manager and saying whatever the hell he wanted on TV in an attempt to get fired, the American Dragon announced that he had finally been cleared to return to the ring on March 20th, 2018. This was an emotional moment for all involved. I mean, it would have been more emotional if WWE hadn't announced it earlier in the day, but hey, you can't win them all. D-Bry followed this up by getting into a fight with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, his first physical activity in a long time, and the crowd went bonkers. This led to him teaming up with Shane McMahon to take on the Canadian pair at WrestleMania 34, which was a weird choice for Bryan's first match back, but again, can't win them all. Think of all the incredible stuff Bryan has done since this moment, and you will understand why we had to put it on this list. Number 2, June 27th, 2002. The June 24th, 2002 episode of Raw saw Vince McMahon usher in a new era of WWE, one he wanted to see full of ruthless aggression. Just a few days later, a young man in neon pants answered that call and changed the wrestling landscape forever. SmackDown on June 27th, 2002 opened with Kurt Angle issuing an open challenge to anyone who wanted to test their mettle. Out came John Felix Anthony Cena, looking like a creator wrestler before you make any changes, to do just that. After being asked who in the green hell he was, Cena threw Vince's words in Angle's face and the fight was on. Although Johnny Boy lost his debut bout against the Wrestling Machine, he had made quite the opening statement. It would take a few years and a couple of false starts for Cena to fully establish himself as a top star, but all of his success, both inside wrestling and outside, can be traced back to this fateful moment. Number 1, September 13th, 2001. In the wake of 9/11, safety concerns in America were at an all-time high. Every aspect of normal life ground to a halt, which is why when WWE announced that the September 13th episode of SmackDown was going ahead as scheduled, everybody thought they were mad. In the first major gathering of its kind since the horrific attacks, SmackDown opened with the now legendary image of the roster standing in the rampway with their hands over their hearts, followed by a passionate speech from Vince McMahon and a rousing rendition of the US national anthem by Lillian Garcia. The wrestling itself was completely irrelevant, which, considering we were in the middle of the invasion storyline, was a blessing in disguise. More importantly, this was a signal that the world was ready to get back to its old ways, to not live in fear, to not let the terrorists win. Sure, Stephanie McMahon comparing the situation to her dad's steroid trial was clumsy as hell, but this was a truly special night where emotions ran high and WWE did everything they could to raise a nation's spirits.